नमस्कार. अंतरिक्ष अप एंड अवेत सगळ्यांक येवकार. आमी जेन्ना अंतरिक्ष हो शब्द म्हणटात, स्पेस, गेले थोडे आठवडे हांव तुमकां स्पेसांतल्यान एक भोंवडी मारून हाडीत आसा. अर्थाचे भोंवती जे स्पेस आसा, जिओ स्पेस, मागीर ताजे भायर जो चंद्रा कडेन लुनार स्पेस, सगळें आमी मातशें पळयलें. आतां म्हजे फाटले एपिसोड जर आमचे अंतरिक्षाचे तुमी पळयल्या जाल्यार तुमकां खबर आसतलें, एक मनशाचें नांव हांव परत परत घेत आसता, एक सारको घेत आसता, आनी ताजे शिवाय एकूय एपिसोड इन ट्रू सेन्स कंप्लीट जायना. तो मनीस आज हांवें हांगा आपोवना, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल, पण तो मनीस सिम्प्लिफाय करपाक, एक कॉम्प्लिकेशन, एक पजल सॉल्व करपाक आमचे स्टुडियोत एक स्पेशल आनीक मनीस आयिल्लो आसा. मनीस म्हणल्यार एक तरणाटो भुरगो आयिल्लो आसा. पयलीं येवकार करया आनी मागीर हांव सांगता तो हांगा कित्याक आयला. तर राज, वेलकम टू द प्रोग्राम. आज आमच्या प्रोग्रामान आसा राज कुंकळकर. राज कुंकळकर एक सामको एन्थुजियास्टीक, डायनॅमीक यंग सायंटिस्ट अशें हांव ताका म्हणूं शकता. फ्रॉम मेनी इयर्स हांव ताजो प्रोग्रेस पळयतां. तो कसो फ्रॉम स्कूल लेवल टू कॉलेज लेवल तो कसो वयर सरला. सायन्स, थियोरिटिकल फिजिक्स आनी मॅथमॅटिक्स जातूंतल्यान भुरगीं धांवतात, हो ताजे लागीं धांवता. ही रन्स टुवर्ड्स इट. तो सामको पॅशनेट आसा अबावट फिजिक्स. आनी इतलो हुशार, एकदम हुशार आनी एकाडेमीक बरो भुरगो जावन सुद्दां ताणें आमचे सदां जे भुरगे धांवतात ते इंजिनियरींग, मेडिकल हें सगळें सोडून तो ते क्रॉस करून फुडें सरला. ही वॉन्ट्स टू हॅव अ करियर इन थियोरिटिकल फिजिक्स आनी एस्ट्रोनॉमी. बिट्स पिलांनी हांगा इंटिग्रेटेड MSc डिग्री तो सद्या करीत आसा. सो आनी आमी टायम वेस्ट करनासतना डायरेक्टली बाय वेलकमिंग यू इन टू अ व्हेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड पर्सन्स लायफ, लेट अस स्टार्ट. ओके राज, कितें आसा, म्हाका दिसता कोण व्हडलो सायंटिस्ट किंवा प्रोफेसर हांगा बसयल्लो वूड ऑल्सो बी इक्विवलंट, पण म्हाका कॉम्प्लिकेशन नाका. दीस पर्सन इज ऑलरेडी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. सो फ्रॉम युअर एंगल, फ्रॉम अ स्टुडंट्स एंगल, अ पर्सन हू एप्रिशिएट्स सर अल्बर्ट आयन्स्टाईन, टेल अस समथिंग अबाउट अल्बर्ट आयन्स्टाईन.
When I was a young kid and I used to go and tell people ki maka science करपाक जाय, maka astronomy आवड आसा. So every time people used to be like, oh, तुका Einstein जावपाक जाय, you want to be like Einstein.
So Einstein is equal to science.
Yeah, it has become such a thing today that people equate Einstein with being a scientist or doing science.
Yes.
And at the time when Einstein was alive, ताजी इतली स्टेटस आशिल्ली की he was treated like a celebrity. The way we sadly treat movie stars today.
He was the god of science.
He was the god of science back then. And that was so because even though at that time he was working in a patent office as a inspection clerk, he came up with such revolutionary ideas.
He was not a scientist.
He was not a scientist by profession, yet he came up with such revolutionary ideas at that time that they completely changed the way we look at
the world, the universe.
The way we look at the universe, literally so. Okay. And that is one reason. Probably I think it's because people don't understand what he said. That is why they think of him so highly.
म्हणजे कितें कॉम्प्लिकेटेड आसला तो सायंटिस्ट.
Exactly. So I think that we can try to demystify.
So let's start from the beginning. Einstein is a Nobel Prize winner. Sir Albert Einstein Nobel Prize मेळ्ळें. ते कित्याक मेळ्ळें, त्याचे इम्प्लिकेशन्स कितें ताजे रिसर्च आशिल्ली, ते सगळें आमकां मातशें एक्सप्लेन कर.
Albert Einstein, ताणें आपलें एज्युकेशन कंप्लीट केलें इन फिजिक्स, बट because his academic records were not so good, like we know that there are many smart people, हुशार आसता, पण जे अभ्यासान
academically shine जायना.
academically अभ्यासान मार्क्स मेळना, shine जायना. So he was one such case. He was very smart in maths and physics, but not so smart in other things. He neglected them. So ताका प्रोफेशनली बरे पोजिशन मेळना. So because of that he had to struggle. And even though he couldn't get a PhD, he had to go on and join a patent office in Switzerland.
He was a clerical employee.
He was a clerical employee. He just had to check because there was the great boom of electricity. Lot of patents files जाले, so he had to technically go through them. तशें ताजें काम आशिल्लें. So sitting at that desk, he had all the time in his life to think and ponder about the deeper mysteries in science, because not everything was clear back in those times. कशें आशिल्लें तें, how this universe works.
Science was young.
Science was very young, and though few thought that okay, we had come to an end of science, he proved that that was not the case. It was the start of a revolution that is still going on.
And in this background, he got the Nobel Prize.
He got the Nobel Prize. In the year 1905, he published 3 papers that entirely changed, or rather almost created 3 different fields in physics. Now, it is very rare that one person in a year creates 3 different fields in physics. One of them was a paper on something known as Brownian motion. आता जे microscopic particles असता त्यांना आमकां खबर नाशिल्लें of their existence. We had no idea. So he proposed a way of looking at it. He proposed a way of how these microscopic particles move in
म्हणजे धाकट्या particles movement.
How they move in a suspended liquid. That was the idea behind Brownian motion. And then he went on to put forth the idea known as the photoelectric effect. It was something that treated light as nothing but a packet of energy. A packet of energy, which when hit upon an electron, transferred all the energy it had into the electron. And now the electron.
So he saw light as energy.
Yeah, he saw light as a packet of energy. Previously, Newton's time, they thought that light was a wave. Electromagnetic wave. And this was another way of looking at the same thing, what we know as the wave particle duality. Stages of energy, which when hit upon an electron, transferred all its energy into the electron. And the electron carried that energy and moved. And for this
is the photoelectric effect.
This is known as the photoelectric effect, and for this contribution to science, and this was actually one of the founding features of quantum mechanics, which we know is another crazy
modern day physics
theory. Because it led to that revolution, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in physics in the year 1921. After the theory was experimentally proven, which is again a criteria for winning a Nobel Prize. And then we move on to what he is most famously known for, the theory of relativity. E equals mc square, the most recognized equation in
Einstein is equal to E is equal to mc square.
Yeah, तशें जाला आता. So in physics, it is very fundamental. A very fundamental thing is the way people make observations. आता जी physics theory asa, or anything that we learn in school, it deals with measuring some quantity or the other. We talk about measuring, say, momentum, or measuring energy, or measuring time. So my measurements are pretty much useless unless and until I can compare them with yours.
My measurements.
Yeah. So I cannot do physics without being able to compare people's measurements. And in a very general way, you can be moving, or you can be spinning, or you can be doing cartwheels. It shouldn't matter to our comparison. So this was the whole base of what is known as relativity. Being able to compare measurements and hence talk about all the different theories in physics. So this was...
So relativity compares to everything in physics mostly.
Yes, so this was a theory that all other theories had to obey, so to say. So it was that fundamental that it completely changed the way other things were looked in physics, like electromagnetism or gravity. It changed the way we looked at these things. And that was the miracle, the special theory of relativity that he put forward in 1905 played a very crucial role in how we went about doing physics till date.
Photoelectric effect कितें तें आमी पळयलें. आता सायन्स आमी मातशें इजी करपाक प्रयत्न करतात आमच्या प्रोग्रामाक, मातशें हेवी करपाक नाही. सो मातसो ब्रेक घेवया, आमी परत रिचार्ज जावया आनी परत आमी फुडलें कंटिन्यू करुया. खूब आयन्स्टायना बद्दल उलोवपाचें आसा, खूब ताजे डिस्कवरीजा बद्दल उलोवपाचें आसा. सो तुमी कीप कंटिन्यूड वॉचिंग द सिरियल. एक ल्हानसो ब्रेक घेवन हांव रोखडोच परत येता.
पॉवर पॅक पॅनल असा सध्या
दिल्लीवाले टोपी घालतात, literally and figuratively topi घालतात.
Please understand that fighting elections is not something that you just get up in the middle of the night and say, oh, I'm going to go and fight elections.
people in power have played some mischief.
can be so big and such a drastic change.
They have clearly rejected the arrogance.
All the forces should come together.
Third front is required.
You bring 50 candidates.
As far as
decide what is.
Watch The Debate with Pramod Acharya, Thursday 7:30, 9:30 and 11:30 p.m. only on Prudent Media.
माणकां मोतयां तुमच्या आवडीची आनी मोगाची कार्यावळ दर बुधवाराक दोनपरां 1:30 3:30 आनी रातच्या 10:30 वरांक विसरू नाकात आनी चुकोय नाकात पळोवंक माणकां मोतयां.
वेलकम बॅक. तुम्ही पळयतात अंतरिक्ष अप अप एंड अवे. आमी ब्रेकार वचचे पयलीं हांगा आयन्स्टायना बद्दल डिस्कस करताले. आज म्हजे बरोबर राज कुंकळकर आसा, आमचो रिसोर्स पर्सन. राज कुंकळकर इंटिग्रेटेड MSc डिग्री करता इन बिट्स पिलांनी. तर कंटिन्यू करपाक राज, एक सदां म्हजे मनान क्वेश्चन आसता. तूं स्वता बिट्स पिलांनीन आसा, जातून खुबशे इंटेलिजंट भुरगे वतात. ओके, अबाउट इंटेलिजन्स अशें आवय बापूय समजतात की एवरी स्टेप एवरी स्टेज आपलो भुरगो परफॉर्म करना जाल्यार ही इज अ फेलियर. ओके, इन दॅट कॉन्टेक्स्ट हांव सांगूंक शकता की सगळ्यान इम्पॉर्टंट जो मनीस सायन्साचो आसा, इट इज कन्सिडर्ड दॅट ही वॉज अ फेलियर. वन्स अपॉन अ टायम तो मॅथ्सान फेलियर आशिल्लो अशें म्हणटाले, पूण तरी तो आयन्स्टायन जालो. सो एक तरेन आमचो प्रोग्राम पळोवपी पॅरंट्सांक एक मेसेज तुजे कडल्यान जाय की फक्त सक्सेस 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 हाजे फाटल्यान धांवपाची गरज ना. एवरीबडी इज डिफरंट and everybody can achieve through his own field. You are one of the examples. So what you would say about this?
It is pretty much true that back then, when Einstein was in Europe, he was doing his schooling. The system, though it was very much better than what we had in India at that time, it was catering to the average student.
Okay.
A student like Einstein, who was not average, he was very smart,
above average,
above average in most of the aspects. So much so that he was studying advanced mathematics at that time without the help of Google and things like that we have today. He managed to accomplish a lot in learning things that were not done in school.